I'm at here. I'm going to Queen's Burgers. Oh, I gotta pay parking. Okay, okay, so we're at Queen's Burgers, and ironically, we were talking about Kevin's Burgers and the whole King and Queen weird. I wasn't talking about the whole King and Queen thing they're doing, but the Queen's Burgers. So here it is, kind of funny, and they're down the street from the Peruvian place. It's funny, Seymour instantly knew where the Peruvian place was, and I have a whole story about that. Now also look at the green 4Runner. I have a feeling that's intentional. Okay, so where is Brittany? Here's Queen's Burgers. Where's Brittany? Oh, maybe she's... Okay, so I think we're gonna go to the Peruvian place. I'm gonna see if she wants to go to the Peruvian place instead, which is much better food. And well, I'm sure that the topic of Alexis Amore and how I'm doing something to Alexis Amore by going to get Peruvian food and things like that. You're right in front of me. Why didn't you say something? Oh, and I'm talking into a camera. Okay, so here's Brittany. Say hi. Okay, we're at Queen's Burgers, and now there could be several 100,000 jokes about this with Alexis Amore and the King and Queen thing from everyone else now doing the King and Queen thing, which probably relates to something they're saying about my childhood. I can't exactly tell you, or maybe poker cards, I'm not sure. You like Peruvian? It's really good. There's a really good Peruvian place down the street.
Okay.
Much better than... And they have air conditioning and shade. No, it's like right here. Also, I spoke with Seymour. Seymour actually already went into the courtroom.
He did?
Yeah. He said, let me... I'll do it as we walk.
Okay.
No, but I'll credit card it. Okay.
I can
so the thing is, okay, so I get here about 8:20.
Oh, you did?
The court starts at 8:30 for every day.
Yeah.
Seymour, for the first time in his life, is like on time at 8:30, which is strange.
Right.
And he calls me and he says, what do you say? Sorry, like a million things in the last hour have happened. He calls me and he says, he asks me if I'm in the local area, and then he does this little angry bye-bye and fair enough. Now remember, the bye-bye comes from Detective Angela Stewart. I'm going to rid you of the world with every lawyer in person. You don't talk or we kill you, right? Okay, so, and he said those things to me aggressively before they threw me in the slam.
Okay.
Before. So you see I'm trying to provoke you and get a reaction. Okay, and then I say, because I didn't really tell him that you were going to be down here.
Okay.
And I say, yeah, I'm down here and I'm meeting Brittany. Says, okay, blah, 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 fair enough, bye-bye, whatever. And then he calls back like 15 minutes later, and you could tell he's sort of angry about it. Right here. Puro Puro Sabor. Let's finish up our. So he's angry about it. I'm recording about it. He's angry about it, and I mean he doesn't have an angry voice, but you can tell something's not right.
Okay.
And he calls back, and I'm like right there coming down Victory.
Okay.
And I hang a left here, and I'm talking to the camera how I'm going to point out and see if there's pink and blacks because of the flagging trigger mechanism at Coffee Bean, getting this coffee in Woodland Hills, as well as umbrellas and stripers. And Seymour calls back instantly once I hang a left down here. He calls like when I'm right over there, and then I hang a left here, and he calls again. He says, do you have the video of the Starbucks incident, blah, blah, blah? And I said, why would I have the video? You're my lawyer. I'm not even supposed to be in the courtroom. You're like, it's a progress hearing. It's not even a hearing for
Anything?
For a probation violation. It's a progress. Do you understand the thugging, the trickery and the thugging?
Okay.
Okay, so, and I go, and then he asks some weird questions like, well, is it on the internet and this and that? I think trying to see if it's available for people.
Okay.
And I say, yeah, of course it's on the internet with 1,000 other things, but the long version is with the full story and this and that.
Right.
He said, I don't have it. Maybe it's an email. Is there a place? Whatever. And I go, well, maybe I can go back and get it, this and that. And I leave it at that. I decide, if I have to flake on you, whatever, just to get the proof is more important. Yeah. So I go back and I throw it on my USB stick and laptop, and here I am. Now, right as I arrive here, Seymour texts me or calls me saying, okay, I've been in the court, blah, 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 which is strange because he's never here this early.
Right.
And he says the matter, everything's okay, and he's put it off till September, but he wants to have a dialogue with you, and I think we should do that together.
Sure.
To see how our relationship is, and if everything's good, then the matter's dropped.
What does that mean?
The matter pertaining to the Starbucks lies.
Oh.
So really what it is a thug force manipulation play for Seymour to talk to you.
Okay. About...
Is this even coming from the prosecutor? Who even knows? Because he probably lied about not having the video to try to scare, intimidate, thug, pique my anxiety.
The supposed video of you saying these things?
No, just what he has told me is that the interactions, the prosecutor wants to know about you and my interactions, whether we're getting along and it's working out. And I said, well, is this a psychological eval? And he said, no. He just wants to know that we have a good relationship, like a solid...
Like rapport?
Yeah.
Okay.
And any retard on YouTube can see that we do.
Yeah.
But, and I actually said, well, we're right here at Queens. You're welcome to come down and join us for lunch, but I know you won't. And then he said, well, maybe where are you? And I just said, well, I'll text you the address and whatever. So I'm going to text him the address, and he's welcome to join us. But I have a feeling, I know Seymour, and I know how stealthful he is and manipulating. So anyways,
I'm happy to talk to him.
Okay, so... and really that's a strange request because I don't think prosecutors are really supposed to...
I get it, because sometimes they do, want the therapist to come in or whatever. But, I'm happy to talk to them. Because it does happen.
What? You think?
Yeah, it does. Sometimes they'll talk to you, a therapist, and they get, subpoenaed in or whatever. But still, it'll plan.
Okay, so... It'll be a little interesting. Okay, we're at... I can't see what I'm pointed at here. That's not right, is it?
No.
Let's try it this way. No, the mic's not on. Okay, well, worst case scenario, you just hear audio.
Yeah, you'll see, It is warm in here, huh?
Yeah, maybe they don't have AC.
Maybe, I don't know if she understood what you were asking.
Yeah, she is. I've seen her like 100 times.
Oh, really? She said you were...
Oh, the AC though? I don't know, but... Maybe we just don't have it and it's just embarrassing.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this camera, and I want to put it over there, but I don't think you'll hear the audio from Brittany if we put it over there. I don't know what to do. I got an idea. At least minimize the problem.
I wonder if you could slide that table here or something.
I don't know. It could be a
I don't
problem.
know, yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna wing this. I'm lightweight. I have this tiny little camera. This is kind of an experiment, and Brittany has a quiet voice, and this might not work while we're trying to eat too. It might just really, but we'll give it a try. And
Have you had a shake from here?
No, I didn't know they had shake. You know what's really good? My favorite, and I think you should try it, is the ceviche. Ceviche.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of got me started with the whole Peruvian thing. It has nothing at all to do with Alexis Amor, even though all Peruvian restaurants were told to go ballistic on me for walking into Peruvian places.
For no reason.
Just like coffee shops or pools. It's then about a girl, and I'm belittling her. Just happens to be Alexis Amor, a Peruvian porn star. And then Tia Cyrus, working with all Starbucks corporations and many others on the somehow doing something to her while they have a look-alike come in. Right? Yeah, I'm just walking into a public place of strangers I don't know.
Right? Yes. Always.
And no one ever questions the situation, the blatantly obvious situation, the propaganda. I don't want to say drama and gossip, because drama and gossip can't instantly go worldwide for a minute. Right? So it's propaganda on government-built internet systems. Just like me wearing a blue and black sleeve shirt has nothing to do with anything, or hats, or whatever, or shoes. Same with going to a Peruvian restaurant, but anyways, aside from the tangent, I kind of started with the ceviche, and I don't know, it's pretty good. It's just something
fresh,
different, but I like the fish, the spicy fish and the marinades, and so that's kind of what got me started. And of course, instantly, there's Alexis Moore, like, he's copying me, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and he's ruining my life. It's like, how do you know who I am? How is it that you know who I am and you're following me to strip clubs with Brian Longbottom?
Right.
And Sharky's restaurant after people sharking me at pool halls? What's going on?
Right. That's a better question.
Well, my father walks around the office going, I love you, like some kind of weird threat or something.
To you or to her?
No, to me.
To you.
Like you're watching his office mafia death. He's like, Kevin, I love you. And it's like, are you insinuating something? Are you insinuating that I'm somehow mobbing Alexis Amor or something? Right?
It just didn't add up.
Yeah, but there's a lot of loves that have been sent after me. There's Brittany love, there's the redhead, there's Alexis Amor, which is love in Spanish.
It is, yeah. So you can't trust anything.
No, because every single thing you do. Just feel free to jump in, and you don't have to put your face or anything. Just don't worry about your hands in front of the camera. I don't even think the camera actually sees us. I think it just sees the wall.
Thank you.
And so
What is
it's called Inca Cola.
that? Is it like Coke?
No, you should try it. Do another one for Brittany. I'll pay anyway.
Okay.
Can you do dos for Brittany?
Thank you. I've never seen. I thought it was a beer.
No, it's a Peruvian soda.
Oh, okay.
Soda pop. And no, I don't like straws when I'm in restaurants. Only driving. These are all things. Like, for example, remember I was saying my dad would take me out to his terror lunches with Lorena?
Lunches, yeah.
Well, we had a short discussion. Like, hey, what do you want to drink? It's like a Coke or something.
Thank you.
And they put a straw in it, and they always ask, want a straw or no straw? I'm like, no straw. And I was like, well, why don't you want a straw? And I'm like, well, I'm at a restaurant, I'm not driving, I want to feel a glass and sip on, why do you want a straw?
Right.
in a restaurant, right? Like, don't you give your kids straws, or
Yes.
twisty straws to...
Yeah.
So,
And
I had a short conversation about how culture has changed
Yeah.
based on, not really manipulation, but constantly being given straws. And so
No,
people...
they changed it. You know that? You have to ask for them now, usually.
Oh, really? I haven't been socially out to restaurants in years now,
Okay.
so...
I thought that was what you're going to
Well,
say.
no, actually it starts, they never gave you straws.
And then you have to, okay, now it's back to that.
You normally get straws in drive-thrus.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, yesterday, or the day before, at Studio City, at In-N-Out, or Saturday, she says you want a straw. Well, you never ask. And in a drive-thru, you never ask if they want a straw because you drive it.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that connected event was related back to going out in Northridge to lunches with Lorena, my father.
When did you figure that out?
Which
That
thing?
connected, that it was all connected like that.
Oh, at 29.
I mean like the drive-thru recently with like when you used to go out to lunch.
What do you
Like,
mean?
You said you just went the other day, right? In Culver City?
I was going out to Hollywood Saturday, down LA, Santa Monica, Hollywood, Saturday night, and I stopped at like City Walk, Universal Studios, and then I drove down to the In-N-Out to get some food on the way to LA.
Yeah.
And in the drive-thru, the girl says, "Do you want a straw?"
And you've been doing this like so long and having to deal with this that you instantly connect.
It's like I told you in the beginning, I can read these things like Braille.
Okay.
Example, we might see people start walking in here like two black and blue shirts, separate people, and I'll be like, listen.
Okay.
No.
That's what I was at. Yeah.
Listen, it's like, without trying to sound like a paranoid crazy man, it's very James Bondish.
Yeah.
You're aware of your surroundings, what's behind you, what's in front of you, where the police are, who's showing up. It's actually kind of disturbing, but...
No, it is. You have to stay safe, so you have to be aware of it.
Yeah. It's like if you were Pablo Escobar or something, you would probably be...
Looking over your shoulder.
Or like Jason Bourne in Bourne Identity or whatever, right? It's like...
It's constant.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, huh?
Yeah. And then when you're watching 100,000 people to 1 million people per day taking part, think of the energy you're exerting.
I can't imagine.
And it's like, well, and people say weird things like, why didn't you call a lawyer? Well, I did call a lawyer, and it was the same thing. Each one torturing me and not refusing to help, refusing to look at the videos.
Right.
Right?
You sent that video to Seymour, right? What he's talking about? I thought.
I sent him the long version I sent him the full version, but he's never interested in the full story. But then he tells me, in our office, what did he say? I don't see a reply in text. I've seen all those videos. Well, he's seen a shitload more videos than you have.
Right. Do you think he watched this?
I doubt it. And supposedly it went to him and his people or whatever, his lawyer co-workers.
Yeah.
Any sane, rational, honest person would say this is fucking unacceptable.
Right. What did he say about like the dog attacks and like the physical stuff that you come after?
Well, like remember the first attack, he lied and said I tried to force a card on the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He lied. My own lawyer saw it live.
That you're antagonizing them?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, why is I paid him $15,000 up front in the beginning. Why did you fucking lie? He lied to me in the front door saying, I don't know what you're talking, I don't see what's going on, and I don't really want to look at all this other stuff, and blah, blah, blah. You're dismissing the entire argument, self-defense argument, and then telling me, remember, he came in your office stating that I wanted to go up on the stand.
Right.
That's not what he told me. Our first meeting, I remember I knew he was full of shit like every other one, and I was on the phone with thousands of lawyers in their offices for 3-4 months before him, getting the same runaround and bullshit and being attacked by them. And he tells me, I think that the only way that you can win this is if I put you on the stand. Well, technically, now that I think back, that I'm too consumed with being attacked every 10 seconds, I should have said I'd take the fifth. But that was his fucking job.
Right.
Just like this morning and supposedly not having the video.
Right.
That's his fucking job. That's not my job.
Why didn't they tell you that earlier, if they needed it?
Because he wants to make me look crazy on the stand. Because, like, remember I told you he intentionally lost the case with premeditation? He filed the appeals before ever going to trial. How do you file appeals if you haven't been convicted?
I have no idea. You can't.
Correct, because there's no conviction. So how do you file? Okay, well that tells you all you need. All the things, Dinse's ticket, 2 weeks before going on the stand, that's inadmissible as evidence, or if he refuses to use it, even in the closing argument. Why? That says everything. We have a cop harassing a person.
What was his reason?
He didn't give a reason. Remember, he doesn't tell you anything. He just cuts you off.
Okay.
He controls the situation.
Yeah.
But a lawyer is supposed to control the situation on the stand, not to his client. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he hates his client. You understand?
Was he different when all three of us were meeting versus just the two of you?
Yeah, remember hearing his voice change on the phone calls?
Oh, yeah.
He's yelling at me like, what's his name?
He's,
like Richard Barnwell at Cochran Firm. He's learning. He's yelling at me. He's cutting me off. He's skating this way. He's skating that way to control the outcome of the situation, but never judicially anything about fair trials or defending a client. Well, that's the entire reason we have a judicial system, to make sure that those who are guilty go to jail or are punished, and those who are innocent stay out. But the judicial system wants me in jail, quiet, and not talking.
Is that what this court? So today was. I'm so confused about what today was.
Today is a progress hearing. That's all it is.
Haven't you completed your terms of probation?
No, my probation is 1 year therapy.
Yeah.
And 3 years total probation with 1 year therapy.
Okay. And how long have you been on probation then?
I think it's been 1.5 years or something.
Okay.
And then they tried that thing how, I found this little tiny thing where supposedly you weren't going to therapy, and it's like, I have a list of how many thousand psychiatrists and interactions, and I refuse to even talk to you. Right? But that's not relevant to anything, and this is worldwide, so how can a judge or anyone say anything about anything?
You have it all documented too.
Correct, on paper, but he found a little tiny period, a possibility I can screw you over, right?
The tiny little lapse. It was a week or two, right? Or 4 or something. I don't know. But you have
it was about 3 weeks of non-documented. I contacted just 50
therapists.
I was literally contacting off what do they call therapy?
Good
therapy.
Yeah.
Another one, Psychology Today. Let's say it started as 1, and then it went to 4 a day, and then 10 a day.
How many got back to you?
Very few, especially after I started being direct. Like, I'm Kevin Perlman, the one being targeted.
Okay.
Which shouldn't matter because of the psychologist.
Right.
And then a lot of them someone would email me back trying to make me look crazy or set me up. And so, usually go see a forensics, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Or I go to them and they go, I don't know you, and then they start to trigger me and this and that. And, what was the first one? The first one was lying. Oh, your armpits smell. The same thing they were doing in jail.
The therapist said that?
Yeah. You smell, your armpits smell. The same scam they were doing in jail would link back to Shannon Bryan 7, my father's office.
Right.
So you instantly know, talk about connecting information events, you can trace the information instantly that these lies, this liar with a psychology degree, is associated with my father and Shannon Bryan 7 and the police and the judicial system.
Right.
So at no point do they want a truthful answer that I'm not crazy and I'm a really good person.
Right.
Okay, well...
That's just like appalling that. Was it a guy or a girl?
This one was a girl.
That's so rude. Why would you ever insult a client like that?
No, it's not rude, it's criminal.
No, I know it is. Yes, but I'm saying, that's
maybe she wants to try to trigger me and get me yelling at her and say I'm a violent paranoid schizo.
Probably. I mean, I'd be upset if somebody said that.
I mean, what is the reasoning that you're known planet-wide, every person you're in contact with, let's say 80%, provoke you and trigger you with packaged passive-aggressive terror operations developed by the psychology community, and they each go, I don't know you.
I'd be upset too. I'd be really
But aside from beyond any level of pissed imaginable, what do you think the reasoning is? So you got a good life? Yeah, so there's got to be a reason, correct?
It would make me feel crazy.
Okay, so there's got to be a reason. Yeah. There has to. It's not one crazy psychotic. It's a conspiracy with mass groups. Mm-hmm. So throw it out. What do you think?
I think I don't even know.
Well, it is
That's
fucked.
like,
So what do you?
it's not
But what do you think the why is? I mean, you don't have to give it.
What do you mean exactly? Like why or how they all? Like they all.
Okay, look.
Talking about.
If I'm walking down, if I'm a sane, rational person who functions on reasoning and logic, and I walk down the street and I grab a shovel and bash someone's skull in, there's got to be a why I did it. Even if I'm crazy, there's still a why.
Right.
I didn't like the way he looked.
Or he was trying to attack you or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. But now we have a mass worldwide conspiracy, planetary. It can't be one crazy person who's lost all their marbles. Okay? Because it's a conspiracy and they're all told what to do. Logically.
Right.
Logically, rationally, premeditated, and planned out. So now there's a why. People don't get worldwide conspiracies for no reason. They want something. Just like your average con man wants money, or your average stripper or porn star wants money from you.
Yeah.
The stripper will tell you she loves you and you're such a great person and she looks up to you and this and that, and she'll take your money, and it's because she wants your money. There's a why. So why is almost every person I have interactions with since 5 years old wants. What do they want? What do you think? You don't have to give an actual I know for sure.
Right.
What do you think?
That's the main question. Well,
from common sense. I mean, come on.
There's a reason, that every single person is saying the same exact thing to you, that you're me and is treating you that way. It's, like you said, we don't know for sure because nobody will answer your question, but yeah, it's all like planned.
Correct. So, come on. I mean, you gotta have some theories.
What else could it be other than wanting to cause harm?
Okay, good. Truthful. It's not. We can all agree that a conspiracy is 99% time negative, because a good person wouldn't go behind someone's back like that.
Try and cause harm.
Okay, so we're down to harm.
Like emotional harm, like all this, your whole life is consumed by this, because every single person is.
Correct. And what does that stop me from doing?
Living life.
Correct, living life. And what could be the ramifications of that?
Well, jail, right?
Correct.
Or locked up somewhere.
Correct.
Just like to a movie.
Just spit out all the possibilities. Just let your mind just flow. All the possibilities.
You could react, right? I mean,
correct. When the average person enough's enough.
Yeah. It would make me feel
telling Detective Evangelist that these people need to stop, that you need to do something about it.
I would question myself too. It would start making, because you said
correct. There's another possibility. Question yourself.
Because it's like unfathomable, like you said, to cause harm. You're consumed by this every single day. It's not like you want this. What else is the reason?
Correct. It's not for me.
Ask for this,
if it's for me, you're gonna tell me what's going on. You're gonna tell me.
Nobody will answer, like you said. Like your dad, nobody, and so it's like why?
So you're watching this thing. You're in the dark. You're confused. You're scared.
Alone.
You're alone. You don't know what's going on. You're bouncing from stranger to stranger worldwide. You're seeing 40 people to 100 people per day whistling at you, whatever city in the world you're at. When people sit down next to you, they talk to their friends and they go like this, and they start that after you go like that once, talking to a security guard at a coffee shop who's pretending to be your friend, saying you somehow did something to him.
Yeah.
People are coming in 10 people at a time with black pants and green shirts all together coordinated.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too much to be coordinated.
And literally at this point, and pretty much starting at 29, 100,000 to 1 million harassments per day. And let's say it was smaller then, let's say it was only 400,000 a day, I don't know. Okay?
But still, it's like all encompassing your entire life you can do it.
Correct. So I'm gonna do therapist role reversal now. We have a person that's very sane, well-grounded, great self-control. But we haven't even ordered. Oh, hey, sorry, are you ready? I'll talk. You ring the menu, I'll talk.
What is it? Have you had the plantain?
No. Well, here's what I've had. I've had, obviously, the ceviche. The lomo sapato's really good. Where's that? Lomo sapado.
Oh, this?
Yeah, it's really good. There's a soup in here where it's freaking like cement. It's really good.
Is it good?
It's like shrimp. The Peruvian shrimp chowder, like freaking concrete in your stomach.
Really?
But it's good. And What I'm gonna do that with
Okay.
ceviche, and that's all I need. But
Breaded shrimp with fried potatoes and rice. That could be good.
what is that?
Ham roll.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm terrible. I can't. I don't know. I'm just not that hungry yet.
If you're not hungry, I'd stick to ceviche or something that's light.
Is that a?
It's like ceviche is like
It's like the really fresh raw.
It's just
fish.
like
Fish.
Jesus, what's it called? Sushi. Sashimi. It's like sashimi-ish,
Okay.
but with
All the flavor and stuff in it.
garlicky and a hot like Latin-y, you know, not.
Latin. Yeah.
You
No,
know.
it's good when it's really fresh like that. I've had that before. Oh, this. Oh, that's fish though. I don't know.
Yeah, and then it's it's just fish and things with it. It's not heavy. It's light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very fresh. What is yuca?
Yuca? I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever had yuca. Have I?
I'm gonna look it up. I think they turn the air on, yeah?
Do they? I can. Whenever. Oh. Actually, I don't know. You're not ready yet, are you? Sorry, not yet.
You go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Yuca is something I don't know what.
And then I'll play psychologist for role reversal after.
Okay. Spiced mashed potatoes. Ooh. Have you had these? Spiced up mashed potatoes stuffed with chicken and vegetables.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Sounds
That's
good.
had it.
How about this guy? Papa Rolina. Deep fried mashed
the
potato
ram.
balls stuffed with beef, raisins, and olives.
That I haven't. That sounds really good.
Sounds good too. Fried plantains, that's what I was talking about. How much is this? Okay, so I'm good. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, whenever you're ready. So yeah, so I can see in Brittany's eyes, I'm shit talking my lawyer, but he's not being honest. I can see in your eyes when I'm shit talking my lawyer.
Oh, no, it's frustrating because I met him and I could tell that it was very different than what I heard from him.
Yeah. Okay, so
Could I please have one of this one?
Causa rellena? Okay.
Yeah. And then an order of these two, please.
Okay.
Thank
The
you.
Causa rellena small or large?
Small, please. Thank you.
the mix ceviche, a little over medium spicy, and the concrete soup.
Okay.
Yeah, the
The
Camerones steak.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chupe de camarones? De mixto, ¿verdad? Ceviche mixto.
yeah.
Thank you. What did you see? It's frustrating because when he came into the office to talk to both of us, I could tell that he was like nicer, I guess.
Yeah,
So
and
on the phone with you,
It's like his voice. A bit more important than the elevated voice levels.
and he was agreeing in my office to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, his dialogues were this way and that way. Like when I'm alone,
Very different.
just full of shit.
Yeah.
Both, but different bullshit arguments. With you, there's all these things we can do and this and that.
Right. I was surprised.
He's talking about civil things to try to trip you up. He's talking like law that doesn't make sense because you don't know law, right?
Law, yeah.
So he's saying there's things you can do and civilly this and that, but but that doesn't make sense because what he's sort of saying is like, sure you can try to sue civilly, but that has nothing to do with the criminal case or even him.
Right.
So he's sort of tripping you up on nonsense.
Didn't you say there was no civil case or something?
Oh, to me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's a load of
you
shit.
said that
And I
too,
said,
yeah.
there's civil attorneys that do civil rights and things, which is a totally out there thing because it's so rare. You know, it's like Rodney King.
Right.
Hey, the cops pulled me over and beat the shit out of me and tried to kill me. And it's all about civil rights. It's about you're different or because he's pulled over because he's black. Right?
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot of lawyers like that. Most of them aren't very educated. They want to make a quick buck, and they're not for right and wrong.
Yeah.
And you can see that the scene lawyers has nothing to do with right or wrong. How can I get as much money and scare you and intimidate you quiet while taking your money?
I feel like he gets frustrated, and then you can see it all over him, and then
No,
he's angry.
I know he acts like he's going 100,000 miles per hour and.
Maybe frustrated. No, yeah, like angry, frustrated, agitated.
He's agitated because he doesn't want the fucking truth coming out.
Yeah.
Same reason Richard Barnwell is aggravated because he doesn't want racial statements Richard Barnwell, okay. First of all, Richard Barnwell is from the fucking Cochran firm, Johnny Cochran firm.
Right.
You don't even understand what that means.
You told me once.
O.J. Simpson, racial profiling, you name it.
Okay.
Okay? Johnny Cochran stood against racial profiling and discrimination. Do you understand that if I'm being fucked over by the Cochran firm, there's a serious problem going on? Okay?
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. Okay?
Sweet. So they're the ones that are supposed. Is that why you?
The Cochran firm wants me silenced. Why? Well, Johnny Cochran is black.
Yeah.
His children are all black, obviously.
Right.
Here comes a guy who kissed a black girl, 8 years old, and he's labeled a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want that truth coming out because the black community is so buried in solidifying a lie.
If he represents.
It doesn't really make a direct reverse racism statement, but it brings...
It doesn't even make sense.
Do you understand how the black community doesn't want to be known as doing what white people did? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is like you kissed a black girl. Okay. And now you're like white supremacist. That makes no
Right,
sense
after you
at
have been
all.
killed by the black community.
Exactly.
But yet then it switches to Persians and Asians, and it doesn't really make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But the point is, that one lie at 8 years old,
Like spiraled into your whole life.
correct, and now the truth will say what about the black community, not as a, it really won't, but that's their fear. Does that make sense?
Explain that a little more. The truth out
Okay,
loud will say what?
I want to say that their fear.
Uh-huh.
Let me give you a situation. Because this happens all the time with human behavior. You have a black community,
Yeah.
and they were oppressed.
Yeah.
And we can all agree that it was wrong.
Absolutely.
Now there's some angry black people. So they're running around going, I think you're a white supremacist, I'm going to hunt you down and do these things to you. But you're a really good guy, and you have no problem with black people or Asians or anything else, and you even met or seen some really hot black girls, which you would have no problem dating or fucking or whatever.
Right.
And yes, I know my language is direct, but we're not on national TV. And what I guess people refer to as dipping, which is done all the time,
I
whatever,
haven't even heard that.
because nobody cares,
Yeah.
and everyone's screwing interracially or having relationships at this day and age, and nobody cares. But you have this black culture who was screwed over,
Totally.
just like the Jewish culture,
100%.
and they made the judgments to a white guy. They made the same judgments in an anger that were made to them, which we call reverse racism.
Okay.
Okay?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, you just because you were oppressed
Yeah.
doesn't give you a license to oppress other
Right.
races.
Right.
Okay, so that's
You can be
the
angry,
message.
I get that, but to do that, cause harm to another person based on that.
correct.
Yeah,
Just because
that happened to them.
the white culture and in Africa oppression, apartheid, whatever.
I see what you're
This
saying.
was done to this community doesn't give the community the right to then go after good people like me
No,
and
it
say
just
we're going to
continues.
oppress you and because you're a bad person and you're a white supremacist. Well,
It just continues that.
any angry
cycle.
person can make that racial statement if they're having a bad day, right? I mean, I go on a date with a black girl. She wants my money. She doesn't get it. Maybe,
Really?
I'm just giving you an
Oh,
example.
okay.
Let's say she's a hooker or something and you don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe she fits the mentality of a, what do you call it? The girl that marries a guy for his gold digger. Let's say she's a gold digger. She doesn't get what she wants. You don't buy her houses and cars. So then she says he's a racist. Do you understand?
I do.
It's just words. People can say,
To cause
and then all of a sudden you have a black community hunting you down,
Right.
saying he's a white supremacist. Yeah, just don't worry about the speech and
Thank
whatever.
you.
Oh, okay.
So now the message, especially with the Johnny Cochran firm, which is the opposite, is that Kevin Perlman is being hunted and oppressed with accusations that he's a white supremacist because he kissed a black girl at 8 years old, which doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all.
And we can't understand exactly what's going on without direct confessions.
Right.
But it shouldn't matter because if you are a good person
Yeah.
then your statement, and this is what Johnny Cochran himself would say, I think, is it doesn't matter your color or race,
Yeah.
you should not be hunted, oppressed, discriminated.
Right.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Example, black people aren't, the white people oppress black people, so black people are better than white people, is reverse racism.
I get what you're saying. I
Right?
understand.
It's you oppressed us,
So now
but we're all equal here, and anyone that's not for oppression, for equal rights, race doesn't matter. Race and color doesn't matter.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And that's why the United States is called the melting pot. You heard that term, right?
Yeah.
Because all races and cultures are supposed to get together.
Treated each other.
Of course, that he mimics my behavior. But,
Did he not drive him? Oh, I thought he was getting in the back seat.
okay, so what do you think? Opinions on that?
I don't even know. What do you think?
He obviously knows what's going on.
No, I thought you meant about like the case and stuff.
Listen, everything that's happening is not happening
No,
for normal
he
reasons.
definitely told us like.
Okay, I didn't go out and buy a gun and rob a bank, and I'm being
No, you were
punished
breaking
for
the
what?
law. You were doing
Right? I'm being a really good person, and you witnessed yourself the mass attacks on all levels,
Yeah.
from aggressive to subtle. Now, it starts off subtle because they want to get enough to say it justifies us coming after you aggressively. Okay, let's talk about.
And he's just said that, didn't he? Like,
He's divulged a little more information this time than he normally does,
Okay.
but he's still kind of skating and quiet, and I don't want to
Not
release
super
too much.
direct, yeah.
Okay, he's not blurting out how it should be spoken. Look, you were flagged by the government, and they're coming after you, and they want to remove you from society. It's not just Dinse if they plan it, right?
Isn't it crazy?
It's insane. It's beyond any fucking thing insane. That's why they can't have the truth coming out. So they're sort of skating to the end. Remember, he doesn't want to talk about Mike Huntley. But Mike Huntley's the pivot point. He's the pivot lever. At 29, 18 years ago, what the fuck is going on? You just threatened to hunt me down with the government. I'm sitting in office. I want to make some money. I want to do something with my life. And he shifts after the 6 years or whatever to you're a dead man and you're gone. Why? What did I do to Mike Huntley? Did I not make enough money with him? We didn't make jack shit. But he came to me. He came to me. Kevin, if you move back from California, we're going to manipulate you to move back. Let's make money. You're a dead man.
Right.
Okay? Well, it's got to be based on something. I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. Is that?
Right.
What are you referring to Melody at 16 when you introduced me to Melody the stripper? You're hunting me down at the FBI because you introduced me to Melody the stripper to go to someone's house on a cheese dick bachelor party and some guy was in high school getting married, which probably wasn't even real. Yeah. Do you understand? These are like these stage profiling operations. Well, because at 16 you hung around a stripper for a couple hours doing a bachelor party or two of these, you're the bad seed and need to be hunted and eradicated. So Seymour's statement, no doubt there's someone in your neighborhood that wants to see you in jail. What's the real reason? It's not the setup operations.
Right.
It's, I don't like Jews, I don't like people who associate with the adult industry, I don't like pool players.
That's all bullshit.
Correct? So you can't skate to the stupid cover-up bullshit, you have to get...
The only thing that he said that was like super straightforward and factual was about Dinse. Dinse does not want you in the community, he wants to get people locked up.
Correct, but the thing is, it's way before
With
Dinse.
the FBI, I know.
Yeah.
This one, it was just like, even for me to hear him say that out loud was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I
Called
never
the
heard him talk
FBI.
like that. Yeah, well, remember, you saw a video, but we don't even know if that's real.
Right.
How do I know that the guy in clothing, the muscular guy in clothing, really was FBI? And how do I know that Seymour's being honest about that?
Right, you know.
Right?
I mean, that's...
They could be scare tactics by Van Nuys here all alone, for all I know, because they're so fucking caught in the hole.
It could be, yeah. I
You
don't
understand,
know.
right?
That was shocking for me to hear just now, too, that he said that so, like, straightforwardly.
And then with all the calls and proof I've sent FBI and Internal Affairs, why would FBI even take them seriously? Right. I called FBI first about 10 times, documenting each
I
thing.
heard them pick up on you about 7.
But the first ones were documenting
Okay, so they did take it up.
with video footage and links. And whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't deny that something freaky is going on with the police, and then all of a sudden the LAFBI's coming down because they want to know why everyone's mad at me, as if I could answer.
Right.
Hey, there's a planetary mob to kill me. Kevin, why are they doing it? I didn't breastfeed correctly at 5 years old. I don't fucking know, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just picturing that video in my head that I'm all showing up that day. Show me if you just want to talk to you. Like he's all friendly.
It's a generic Trojan horses. They're trying to get my house to plant shit on me or get whatever they can use to use against me, and that's it. Nothing else. The words, what did Dinse say on video? I've seen your website.
Right.
Well, if you see my website, you have no argument.
Exactly. He is a real.
Right? I've seen your website, but I want to know why you're doing this.
Then you clearly haven't seen my website.
Or I've seen your website and I want to know why everyone's mad at you. Okay, well, you see my website. It states why everyone's mad at me. It states all the situations. There's no argument. So why you want to talk to me? Because he wants to, anything you can say can be used against you in a court of law.
Right. I'm glad you asked if he is still calling it off.
Yeah.
Do you try this thing? It's really good. It's a banana or plantain. Try it.
I'll do it with my hands.
They're super sweet.
I'll do it medieval style. Yeah, it's good.
Plantains?
So, you get the idea though.
Yeah.
Seymour's, okay, I don't want to totally crunch down on Seymour, but part of him obviously doesn't want to get his hands in this because, like I said before, no sane, rational person would want this around them.
Yeah.
It's like walking around with a rain cloud over you, and everyone's like, I'm not getting in the rain. You know, it's like, but
I don't understand how it has enough weight to get to where it is, like the court case wise.
Because it's not about anything but what I know.
Thank you.
This entire thing is about what I know from childhood.
Right.
Telling Mr. Quigley, my teacher, to tell me to punch students. That's what this is really about. You understand that Mike Huntley wasn't going ballistic on, I mean, he was, in a different way. But when he realized I started to figure things out, that's really when he got direct and aggressive. Right? That's when all the people trying to set me up got more aggressive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because the setups before 29 were very, how can I get you here to try to go after this without the verbal provokings?
Right.
Right? But he couldn't do it. Mike even said something in the office like, I can't set you up. He actually said something like that. Yeah. So the point is that starting around 5 years old, they were trying to trigger me interactions to go after people, and they couldn't, and they failed up until 29. You said yourself, I have great self-control. I've exceeded the self-control past most robots at this point. And
you see my reactions to things, and it's not even like, you know, and I'm like, how do you not?
Yeah, and then the anger, they get the larger the moves. It never stops. It just gets larger and larger.
Yeah.
Because, why? Because they can't have the truth out. Okay?
Right. It's like a clusterfuck. They created this whole thing. They could have just left you alone.
Exactly. Even at 29. Let me live my life. I don't know what's going on. Something fucked up is going on, but let me live my life. Even if my life is like something really fucked up, even if that thought stuck with me, let me live my life from there. You've done enough fucking damage. But no, they keep coming down, larger and larger. Correct. So all this jail, this is all, everything you're seeing, the jail threats, the scare tactics from Starbucks, how I violate probation, threatening to kill all Starbucks customers.
That's so crazy. Like, what the fuck?
Because if I scare you bad enough, you won't talk.
Because we'll lock you up.
Correct. Okay? And then they want me to check into mental institutions. Why? But why else?
So then it's documented that you're quote-unquote.
Correct. The crazy guy's talking, don't take him seriously.
Right.
So,
what is that called? Slander? No.
Slander, defamation, libel, they're all civil crimes, by the way.
What does libel mean?
Libel means when the lies are written on paper.
Libel, okay.
Defamation is verbal.
And so slander is saying false things?
Remember, all law, criminal or civil, is based on what we call, I'm not a lawyer, what they call damages.
Yeah.
Okay? If I run around and I go to the news and I say that person's into kitty porn, and the news says,
Lost that
everyone
story.
watch out for this person's into kitty porn,
Yeah.
you've destroyed the person's
Their
name,
reputation.
reputation, ability to make money, his health,
Everything.
for all crimes
Because
punishable by money paid back. Right?
restitution, is that what it is?
I'm not sure of the definition of restitution, but
Paying back.
whatever, because I'm not a lawyer. But the point is that
It's still though.
I started several companies and business ideas and websites, and they're all sabotaged because of these laws. Okay? Well, some of those things could have made millions of dollars. Could have made more. I can't tell you what they would have made, but it was sabotaged from day one, from thing to thing to thing to thing. Correct. And then the lies that I'm into kitty porn and a pedophile and a car thief and I'm stalking women. Well,
none of it above or below.
okay, so now don't you think those damages need to be compensated?
Absolutely.
And a statement made that they're not true?
Yes.
Okay, so my statement back then was these fuckers should pay me about $500 million. Now I'm more on about $1 billion, to tell you the truth. And that's probably me being generous.
There's not enough money in the world.
No, there's not. There's not. There really is no number.
No, there's really not.
Okay? The pain and suffering alone, which is a legal term, it's not just about inflicting pain too. Okay, now if you want to take it to the next level, it's really our criminal crimes. You understand? The intent, the premeditated intent, to hurt, harm, maim, put me in jail cells, mental institutions, have limbs fall off, mental thought process problems.
That's what it's called, right? Isn't that what torture is?
Torture, yeah.
I feel like inflict pain.
Correct, and not without physically touching, but the pain is still there. Okay? Just because pain is pain, there's no difference. The human body doesn't care whether you touched them or didn't touch them. Correct. Okay?
Your brain does too, actually.
So,
your body is all connected.
so for them, do you understand what they're trying to cover up?
Everything?
Everything, yes,
That
but
they
the
can torture
magnitude,
this man.
I mean, we spoke about it a couple days ago, but the magnitude is insane. It's unheard of. This isn't a couple of people. This isn't Greg Koenig and Karen Scroggins. Greg Koenig and Karen Scroggins, I told them to stop and leave me alone with their groups of people, and they said no. And then they got angry. And I remember on video, I just recently reposted it, that Greg Koenig says there's an investigation on me while attacking me.
I need to see that.
Like, not physically, but cramming the things in my cars.
That's sci-fi. That's
Okay, well, people don't run around like, Brittany, if I walked up to you and I said, you're a bad person and there's an investigation, I start punching you in the face,
I'd be like,
who committed the crime?
you.
Correct. When there's an investigation on you or not, he's not the police, and even if he was, he's not allowed to Rodney King people.
No.
Okay, so, and that's all on video.
That's the dude who's shoving the newspapers in your tailbone.
Yeah, and he goes next door to Terrence, and he tells me that Terrence is going to beat me up. He says the guy in the green Miata is going to beat me up, trying to get me to go after Terrence. All strategically planned out with Dinse.
Trying to intimidate you too, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Get you to react. That's not cool.
And meanwhile, there's like 6 green Miatas on the street all.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, do you understand the magnitude here?
Yeah, of course.
This is not 1 or 2 people. This is 1 or 2 billion
Everywhere.
in the local western region of the U.S. Okay.
Right. No, you're absolutely. Yeah, absolutely right.
You can't discount the fact there's a worldwide mobbing to have me killed. The judge knows that. Are they going to put me in jail? I can't tell you. It's really going to make the statement. I don't want to go to jail, but the truth be told, that in the end, even if they kill me, the truth will be more important or more solidified. The worse they do to me, the more solidified the truth. I don't want any of it, but that's the truth. Does that make sense?
I mean, if you go to jail for 60 days, worst case scenario, and then you're out, then what? They're going to continue?
Yeah. Because you know what the I even have a conversation with this with a lawyer before. They're ratcheting down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're cranking the ratchet tighter and tighter to try to get reactions, and the more they get you into the system, the easier it is to incarcerate you for life.
Right.
The court's own words, they want to incarcerate me for life. Well, but there's no why. They haven't explained what the fuck's even going on.
No.
You were born and you're just hunted.
They took all the resources that they're using to do these things, that they would have found a way to just rid you or whatever by now, but unless they enjoy inflicting this pain on you.
No, you have to understand the nature of the situation.
It feels like they just
If they do things in such ways to open up doors to question, they'll be crucified.
But if they I don't know, I'm just thinking I don't understand why they're dragging her.
They'll explain it another way.
Okay. It can't be obvious.
This also applies before 29, but especially after. My statements after 29 is that I'm being hunted by the government, and their response is Kevin's a crazy man.
Right.
But what if I'm walking down the street and someone pulls out a gun and blows me away? Like a hired hit. How does that look to the people worldwide? Okay, remember, this is worldwide. They don't want to admit it. They want to tell me that nobody knows me and I'm of zero importance. Okay, we had some of this conversation last week. Okay.
I'm just thinking there's so many ways to fuck you over.
Think about this as if I was the president.
Yeah.
There's a worldwide audience. Someone shows up and blows me away in an assassination.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so now you have to understand that you can't remove me from society in traditional mobster forms.
Right.
So now what happens is they have to make it look like I did it to myself.
But I'm thinking something like planting drugs in your car or
They tried that.
in your car too.
No, not in the car. They
In your
tried
house.
Rody Morales. There's been 6 police break-in attempts.
I know it's fucked up.
Roll with my own father. Think about that. Okay, let's break this down. We can't set Kevin up, but we want to try to provoke him without touching him to get me to start punching people. It looks like I attacked someone for no reason. I'm a violent paranoid schizo. The LAPD's own words that I'm a 5150 violent paranoid schizo. Defamation, slander, motive.
Wait, did they 5150?
No, they tried to make it look that way, tried to intimidate me. But they said it reported on audio, 51, I'm a violent paranoid schizo. Okay? First of all.
You're not going to harm yourself, you're not going to harm anybody else. You never have and you never
Correct.
Unless you're
Okay, so they're throwing that he's a violent paranoid schizo on. They're contacting the FBI. They have almost every person on the planet trying to set me up to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo.
Even if you're a paranoid schizo or whatever, you're not violent. So there's
Correct.
no...
So everything you've seen are trying to make the guy look like he shouldn't be in society, correct?
Right.
Okay, now let's take it to the next level. 29, before 29 they sent Rody Morales after me.
Yeah.
Mike Huntley wants to go to the gym. They're mad about my Lord's gym shirt. Mike Huntley wants me to sign up to the gym by my house. Rody Morales is the manager there, strategically set up, placed there. Rody Morales befriends me, says let's go to strip clubs. The fourth person, one in Oregon, one in Colorado, everywhere I'm at, trying to make it look like I'm hunting and stalking strippers and weird things like this that don't make sense. Okay? Around 29, Rody Morales has a trash bag of marijuana in his car and he wants me to try to get it in my house. He wants to manipulate me into getting the trash bag in my house. You want to keep it? You want this? No. That's when things really get bad. That's when my father starts working on the kiddie porn angles. And my father works with Victoria Walker in the toy gun. I have a
What did your dad
gun.
say about cruise? I didn't realize that.
About what?
About, you said kiddie,
Kiddie porn.
Yeah.
Remember
the
my Uncle Stuart took my own picture at 5 years old naked on the piano. My dad gives me the picture for my 30th birthday of myself. And then Adriana Olivares and Lorena Escobar, George in the office when I was saying I'm into kiddie porn, blasting that to the world. And,
that's horrifying.
hold on. George and Lorena want Dominique, an employee, to sit by me, and George keeps saying Dominique's brother works for the LAPD to catch people in kiddie porn. Okay, do you see?
I do.
They're coming after you every single way known to man. And with my father. All because what? Because I said, Cheryl, bounce for a LA stripper's party. Does that sound a little strange to you?
Yes.
Okay?
Your dad.
And Mike Huntley, I'll give you enough rope to hang myself, the guy that started this thing with strippers.
And your dad has, like, your dad's morals and values are questionable.
This is an orthopedic surgeon.
Right.
He's a fucking insane psychotic murderer.
Right.
Yeah, anything imaginable. So, you know, the first thought that came to my mind,
What?
I asked Seymour in front of you, I said, what about putting something in the letter about witnessing what's going on being done to me?
And he,
That's of no use to me.
I heard that.
He's my defense attorney.
Right.
Why is the statement that I've witnessed Kevin being provoked and attacked
Right.
of no use to your defense attorney?
I don't know.
It's of use
What
whether he can use it or not, for record,
Right.
on every level known to man, even if it can't directly be used.
I don't know. I was wondering that too, and so I wanted to ask him that, like, actually, like, what is this, like, that's why I asked, like, what am I supposed to say? Because I don't know.
They want, obviously the statement he's making, because I talked to him before talking to you,
Just that.
he wants a reaffirmation that we have a good relationship so that I'm getting help
Okay.
to cover up
What's going on?
what they're doing. You
I
understand?
do.
They want to make sure that I have, even though I've actually technically fulfilled the summary probation,
And more.
correct? So that really doesn't, maybe not, hard to say. Because now, you know, you see how they skate out trying to throw things in to set me up, frame me. But the point is, that that statement alone from you says everything. I'm a fucking witness.
Right. You're right.
That's of no use to me. But you're a defense attorney. How's that? Well, you already been convicted. But it still states so on paper.
Right.
I'm not telling you what you should do, but if it was me,
Do you think
I'd fucking say I fucking witnessed it whether he needs it or not.
would he cut it out from that, you think? Would he not use the letter?
I don't think he's allowed to.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think you
He could choose
can take
not to
someone's
use
letter.
it.
Well, then you can say rewrite a different one or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want it to fuck you, that's what I'm saying.
What?
Like, if you were to use the letter and then you're going to jail because they didn't get the letter from me or something.
So think of it this way. Think of it this way. The judicial system has won. Do you understand? But what about the public opinion?
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So for me to get those transcripts and get that out there,
Absolutely.
the court of public opinion. I don't want to talk about the corrupt
But
murderers
that's how you
here.
get it out there and it could
Correct.
happen.
So if there's a paper trail of
Evidence.
I have witnesses, the court has this, but they chose. Remember this. The court, if there's something in front of the court stating that I'm innocent and they make moral decisions,
To say you're guilty?
correct, then that's more argument for my sake that they're criminals.
Absolutely.
Okay?
But
And
they
so
have
if you've
evidence.
witnessed it, then it should be said. Do you understand? It's almost like it's immoral, it's not said.
Right.
And yeah, Seymour can thug and scare and intimidate.
I can definitely say something.
What?
Sure. And also, did I step on you? No.
But you don't want anything that can help me in the judicial system.
Right.
Why not? That's strange. You're a defense attorney. Aren't you morally obligated to give me a fair trial and defend me?
Yeah.
Doesn't the Bar Association of California and every other state state that you have to represent your client to the best of your ability in a moral and ethical way?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
And you pay them the shit for their money.
yeah, but this isn't about money.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
ethically, like, I'm just thinking about.
Ethically, I should have 100,000 lawyers calling me up on the phone right now saying I'll represent you for free and this is unacceptable.
That you're paying. I'm just saying, like, take. I don't know.
It's fucked. It's such a complex situation.
He works for you.
I hired him to do a job.
Exactly.
And the job is to prove my innocence. The job is not to cut me off half-assed and leave out things. The job is to do his job to the extent of the fullest, and now that he's being backed by my own family's money, even though they're crazy psychopaths, he has no excuse about money, even if he's paid like $100,000, $10,000, $1 million, or whatever. So now, think of it this way. The guy's got unlimited cash, he still won't do the fucking
That's what
job.
I'm saying. If it's all the stuff that, then he should be like
Correct, he should be there with a team of fucking people, the dream
They should
team.
have been thrown out, like, a long time ago. the whole case. So it's been
The
thrown
case-
out.
The case should have been thrown out once I walked in the courtroom. The judge looked at me eye to eye and said,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking getting my name dirty with this shit.
It shouldn't
I
even
want my
been a case.
fucking career.
Yeah.
I want to stay a judge and not be known as a fucking Jew killer or something like that, right?
It shouldn't become what it is at all.
Yeah.
It's just Dinse's boss, and then everyone else too. But Dinse's the one who like escalated it to the FBI. And then,
I don't even know if that's really the FBI, but it could be.
Well, so he seems.
Yeah.
But
Because you can see their desperation. I mean, can you, I don't know, can you see their desperation?
It is absurd. You're
Isn't
gonna
it?
go to the FBI? Supposedly whatever. It's really, I've never heard of such a thing. You're an innocent man.
Well,
doing
remember,
nothing wrong.
But that's not, they're trying to make it look like I'm in my
This
car.
terrible
Dinse's
person.
arguments are, I'm involved in all these road rage things and scatterbrain. None of it exists. Like, the road rage things at Dinse is like, your tire touched the curb. Right?
Right, and you're seeing things your tires aren't slashed, but they were.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There's nothing wrong with slashing people's tires or breaking their linkage on their right wheel over and over and cramming bottles and wheels. That's not a danger to anyone. Or punching them in the face or attacking them
With a
or doing
dog.
this with a dog. That's not dangerous to anyone. Just, you farted wrong.
Right.
Okay, so what's it really about?
You take walks at night.
Yeah, you take walks at night and everyone's danger because they take walks. And there's all these, and they have the proof of it. Claims of people in the local area saying I'm a violent paranoid schizo, don't talk to me because of this and that. This is before I even really understood what was going on. Had no verbal communication with anyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just fabricating. It's pure insanity.
It is.
And then,
That
of
is
course,
so
you're watching the tactics, like the 100,000 people walk up to a man 100 times, trying to get the reactions that they couldn't get. Right?
It's like, why spend their lives hurting you and trying to destroy you?
That's the question that needs to be talked about. Okay, those whys are very important.
Yeah.
And when Seymour says, I don't want to know about 29, that's beyond any level of relevant.
Yeah.
What happened at 29,
That's when
and what happened way the
everything-
fuck before that?
Right.
That Mike Huntley was sent after me to eradicate me. Right?
Yeah.
Mike Huntley has committed every crime known to man. He's a good guy. I do nothing, but because I talked to a stripper, because well, I can't let him kill me.
It's just stupid.
Doesn't make sense on any level at all. Right?
It's not logical in the least bit.
Yeah.
It's just based on.
Okay, so these are all things that we need to get to on camera for the world to understand.
Right.
Let me answer before we went to the back and answer that question that we were sort of
Talking about.
when I was talking about ratcheting down, what
Slowly
they
but surely, like,
what they want. Good. Hold on, I got to formulate my thoughts. That's right. So just walk down the street or someone come in my house and put a bullet in my head proves what I've been saying.
Right.
So that's the short version. It proves to the world, hey, Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo and he thinks someone wants to kill him and someone showed up and killed him.
Right, then you're right.
Correct.
They can't
It proves.
You're right.
I don't really win because I'm dead. But in the eyes of the world, the judicial system,
Yeah, telling
they
you.
shows who they are.
Yeah.
Okay? So they can't put a professional hit on me that way. Okay?
Yeah, I can't.
They have to make it look like I'm a crazy man and I did something to lock myself away for life.
have to make it your fault. Basically.
Correct. Why they're paying off so many women since a young age to try to set me up or frame me. Do you understand?
Yeah. It's disgusting.
And now, I was mentioning, I think, Tia Cyrus and Nikki Delano, the porn stars in Delano Street here, where the courthouse is on. So they're paying off strippers and porn stars. Okay, so think about that. Yeah. And let's think about how much you think a stripper or porn star, how much money you think they'd take to kill someone. I'm not making a judgment on all strippers and porn stars. This can apply to anyone. But people that have shittier lives will take less amounts. Does that make sense?
They need the money more.
Yeah. Like if I walk to a homeless guy there and said I pay you $100 to put poison in that guy's food, a lot of them might do it because they need that fucking $100.
Because they're starving and
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so that's just more like food for thought.
to do. I'm gonna ask for a ticket. Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. If you're starving and your kids don't have anywhere to sleep, you're gonna take the money and do the thing. Yeah.
Did you pay? I was gonna pay.
It's okay. I got your lunch.
Okay, I figure you're investing a long part of your day today. And,
No, it's okay.
okay.
Have some food.
Yeah. Well, you want to try this ceviche, or?
I'm okay.
Yeah. So, you have to go? Or?
I'm soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put the line of questioning in you now, because now I'm sure you've seen a lot of things you haven't really seen. Today's very significant. Anything you want to ask, because I'm sure you've taken in a lot today.
Anything I want to ask?
Yeah, just anything, the information you've accumulated about whether it be Seymour's demeanor or how you're seeing the court operate, or about the prosecutor.
Honestly, it's so fucking confusing to me, and it's kind of disturbing that if what he's saying is true and Dinse got the FBI involved, like, why are you so important? Why is he going to
Okay, let's break this
FBI
down. The FBI has always been involved. The Department of Defense has always been involved.
They're that they're not, and
correct.
that doesn't matter.
Okay.
So it's like, but what?
Okay, before any of these arrests, I went all across the United States with policeabuse.com.
Yeah.
And we proved all across the United States, everyone knew me. And they even said Kevin walked in front of the White House with the tourists.
Right.
And White House security was following you around. Okay, so this is what, 6-7 years ago or something?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just asking you. I'm sort of making a point.
Yeah.
These arrests, 3 years ago? Do you understand what I'm saying here?
The whole context.
If White House security and security companies and hundreds of thousands of people in Washington, D.C. are following me around,
Right.
I don't live in Washington, D.C. I've never been to Washington, D.C. How does anyone at the White House know me? Why does anyone at the White House care that in a group of 100 people with cameras, they're only worried about one guy who... I'm not running around with a gun or anything. Okay, so they got to know who I am, correct? And
Singling you out of a group of tourists.
correct. And there are all sorts of other things going on. I was telling you, in the hotel room, people were getting adjacent hotel rooms and hacked into my computer and turning on my webcam and things like
I
that.
didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
I sort of mentioned it the other day. Remember that
Tell me
these...
that you crossed the street and like a bookstore or something.
That was just the White House event.
Yeah.
I was in D.C. for 10 days.
Oh.
Every place, Starbucks or D.C., the same things that you witnessed.
Yeah, it's happening.
I was on the phone streaming video with Canal Diop or Don Jackson. I had Miller running around. Starbucks coffee. I had Secret Service coming to Starbucks trying to sort of scare and intimidate me. I had cops sitting around me at the Starbucks across from the White House. You name it, it was happening.
Into the webcam.
What?
And we're watching it.
What's
At the
that?
hotel room, you said they have to leave
Yeah.
and turn on the webcam.
Yeah, over and
They were
over.
watching it.
Yeah, I figured out how they did it and I stopped them, so it's not a paranoid thought.
How the fuck is that happening? It's terrifying.
Oh, I know, I can explain it.
I know you can't. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, scary.
No, I mean, I can explain it technically is what I mean, from the computer hacking. No. Everything I do, remember when I put in my password at my father's office and said stop?
Yeah.
And then people are sending me blackmail emails that I know your password stopped and I've been watching
I
you.
remember that. Yeah.
And I was showing the police, which lied, said it was spam, how they're collecting all my password information on every computer I'm on, linking back to Lorraine Escobar and my father and their government murder operations. Okay?
And you can log in remotely using your password.
Okay, so think about this. It's not as complex as you would think.
Okay.
I have your Wi-Fi password and I have your Windows login password, which does not take a brain surgeon. I mean, there's cheeseball little apps.
Can you log into Wi-Fi even if you're not there? Or
No.
do you need it to?
Okay, so let me explain from a technical aspect. Yeah, just let me and you'll understand. Okay, think about it. I'm going to take a situation in which you're going to be like, that's impossible, and it's going to be, you're like, oh my god, that's so simple.
Okay.
Okay? So we have your password information from your house or work. Now what you understand is it's not the hacking they have the power, it's the people and numbers everywhere worldwide. Okay, so I have your Windows password and I have your Wi-Fi password and I have a mobile hotspot, or had.
Okay.
So wherever I go, I'm going to have the same password. And
I get it. Okay.
the mobile hotspot has a radius of, let's say 500 feet radius.
Right.
And they don't know this, and this information is being given out worldwide.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so now, Kevin goes to Washington, D.C. or anywhere else in the world and he gets a hotel room. And he turns on his Wi-Fi access point. And he connects his computer to his Wi-Fi access point. And the guy has a password. So all he has to do is drive down to the hotel, get a room. The hotel owners and managers know who I am, are going to say they don't know me and let him in. Probably free of charge though. Hunt me out and kill me. Right? He gets an adjacent room. He logs into my Wi-Fi. Now he's on the local network.
Right.
Now he also knows my Windows password, or my Windows tablet at the time password.
Yeah.
So I just log in with the password information. It's so simple. Now let's take it to the next theoretical level. Let's say Fred here isn't a good hacker, but he lives in DC,
Yeah.
and so he gets a room adjacent to Kevin, knowing the password information, logs into the computer. But he has a friend in Russia that's a good hacker.
Oh my god.
So he opens up one of the hundreds of billions of VNC level remote desktop clients, and he goes, hey Val in Russia, will you log into my computer here in Washington D.C. in this hotel room because I'm connected to Kevin's wireless hotspot. Now Val in Russia or Juan in Peru or whatever. They can contact, and with these government resources where everything is connected, they can contact the best of the best
All over the place.
anywhere in the world and say work on Kevin. Do you understand? It's so simple. But it seems, if you don't understand technology, it seems like, how can that be, right?
It's like Wi-Fi. It's like so easy.
Yeah. Everyone has access to everything. It's like your business network isn't even safe. Like think about this. Like, okay, like I put in a firewall in the office, but occasionally employees have people from different companies log in through TeamViewer or there's 100,000 of these little tiny apps.
That's so crazy.
And so think about that. So now I have an IT guy, Kevin, I don't like him, so I want to fuck him over. So I'm going to sit in my office in the back room because I'm on the internet. And then I'm going to notify Fred in China.
Right.
I can't think of a Chinese
That's
name.
fine.
And he's going to log into Kevin's office because this guy's the best.
Right.
He's going to log into Kevin's computer and do these things to him to make him mentally ill. And it's as simple as that. There's no the breach of security with these little apps, which is very difficult because they use port 80 and 443. And I know you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know about the ports a little bit.
Okay, even if you have a firewall, you got to surf the web. And the web has two ports, port 80 and port 443. What does that mean? Even if you have the best firewall in the world, you got to open up port 80 and 443 if you want to surf the web. Now there's 100,000 of these little log me in and TeamViewer apps that they give away for free, and you log in through port 80 to a remote computer. So you can't lock out port 80. Now there's deeper level firewall apps that try to prevent this on enterprise level firewalls that nobody really has. Deep packet inspection. But you're fighting against a port that's already open. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like trying to say, don't come in my house, but the door's open.
Right. Exactly.
Okay?
Oh my
Anyone
God.
can say, go into his fucking house. And the people without morals are going to go in and you just bypass the security because it's already freaking bypassed. Okay? Think about that.
Yeah, it's already
So that's kind of what I've been
bypassed. It's
fighting against when I worked there.
Jesus, they're trying to like unsync the Titanic. Is what it makes me.
It's
Like,
not sink the Titanic,
It's already
I guess.
sinking though.
I'm the only guy trying to keep it afloat.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm like the captain of the ship, and all the passengers are hammering holes in the floor,
Exactly.
directed at the captain, going, he's a bad captain. He's a
what I'm
tough bad
saying.
captain, right?
Like, you're trying to, like, hold it
Yeah.
up when it's already open and sinking and filling faster.
You're like this one at one point, our firewall stopped working and there was something like, what was it? 500,000 sessions per hour or something to the firewall. And I know you don't really have
That's
a
a lot,
relation. Like, for
right?
example, if nobody's surfing your net, like each time, let's say you talk to a website, that'd be maybe 10 sessions.
Okay.
Okay?
100
But people
million?
are coming in from the outside, attacking networks, and the CPU is like 100% and the firewall couldn't work and nobody could surf the net.
That's
And I showed my
crazy.
father, no, I don't know, whatever, you know, and it was like, you don't know, you should be calling the fucking FBI. Like,
That's insane. That's a shit ton. So it literally collapsed.
yeah, it
It's
collapsed the
opening.
firewall, I had to put in a bigger server.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And your dad's, no big deal.
Part of it was like, I don't know how to read it and this and that, but I knew that he knew enough still that like,
This isn't good.
I'm going to put it all on you, right?
Jesus. That's crazy. I don't know anything about technology. You know this, but
Sure.
you know, like,
But then to make it worse, you had the subtweets on Twitter like, still keeping that Golden State of Florida or something like that, right? Like, yeah.
Jesus.
And it all went back to like,
At Golden State.
think about, let's do the math. The people in the company, Kevin, we don't want the firewall, you're blocking us, you won't let us work. I'm trying to protect you. No, you better do this. You better change the email server. You're ruining our lives. We're going to call the cops. We're doing this. We're doing that. You're also a pedophile and into kitty porn and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. With 100,000 other accusations.
All false.
And then the things are coming in from the outside. People told to hack into the inside.
Right.
But the people in the office aren't mad
About that.
about that. They're only mad at you. Trying to say that you're incompetent.
Right.
Don't you say... Don't you see that these are all inside jobs?
Right.
Because if you're working in a company and you have the IT guy and the IT guy explains the situation that we're under attack and people are coming in from the outside, wouldn't the employees be like, well, I want to work, but we'll do everything to try to rectify this so that we can work as a team?
Absolutely.
And so you can see from those moral personalities that they're intentionally doing it, therefore substantiating that they're in. That's where my father was paying off people from the outside to come after me and set me up and do these things.
Right.
Like anyone can see that. It's honest, right?
It's like,
They're not accusing me of being into kitty porn because I'm doing a bad job. They're accusing me of being into kitty porn because someone wants me dead and gone. And those are completely different reasons. Do you understand?
100%. No, you did a good job at your job.
Yeah.
So it wasn't you.
And I thought a planet full of people and just
On top of your job.
on top of that, it's just pure. It's the same thing like the self-control argument. It's like I've exceeded all expectations.
And more.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's insane. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, your self-control is, like, remarkable.
Yeah. And so what does it take? Well, you've seen what it takes to really finally get me to the point, really get me here on Delano Street, right? We got a good 4 billion people involved, all in 100,000 to 1 million attacks per day. Now it took up until 40, 45, 46. Do you understand the magnitude of that?
Are you 47 or 46?
47.
47?
Wait, 47, 45. Okay, so it's 2 years. I'm 47, but I'm trying to think of when they got the convictions.
3 years, please?
Or the arrests were about two years ago, 2.5 years ago.
You said 2016, yeah? Or
I
13?
think, I'm not 100% sure.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
Year and a half after the conviction, and then pre-trial was 7-8 months or something, you know, like.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so, but you get the idea that from 5 years old, wasting half my life, and severe torture and pain, and never being able to do anything with my life and live in isolation now, even though I was already in isolation, even though I had frenemies. You understand the magnitude of the damages. And then my thought process is now always looking over my shoulder. Well, for a good reason. And so.
I mean, you're like, it's trained, like, programmed into now because you've had to be that way to survive.
And they need to cover that up.
Okay, this is going to be a weird question. sorry, so if I threw you off, I don't mean to. If there was, you know, the Matrix or whatever, the red
Yeah.
pill or the blue
Oh, the
pill.
red or blue pill. Yeah, this will be a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, which one, the red one was you can't go
I
back,
don't
the blue
remember.
one
I
is you
think the
can.
blue.
You go back, get plugged in, and the red one you keep going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the colors, but yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
One was you. No, it's not you plug back in. It's
you could plug back into the system.
one you just kind of walk away from me and you don't know.
Yeah, that.
Blue.
You can't
I
go
tell you what you need to know, but you can't go back.
back. Yeah,
That's what it was.
that's right.
If I had a choice,
But
you're
knowing
asking.
what you know now and what you've been through now, and if they were to offer that to you at like 20, I don't know, now would you take it to go back or would you continue forward?
Well, let me. It's a very. I'm going to give a comment. I can't give you a simple answer, but what I will say is, I think I said this to you in your office when I first met you. If someone came to me right now and said, Kevin, if you could do your life over from a child and not know, versus doing this over again, even if someone gave me unlimited money, if someone were to give me $100 billion, okay, I'm just going to put their weight. If someone said, you can do this over again for $100 billion, versus you can relive your life from 5 and you'll work in a gas station the rest of your life, I would choose the gas station. Okay? Easily. Not even a fucking. I would choose the gas station, go out with my friends, have relationships, be social, have fun, have a good life.
And you would have no idea what you'd be like happy.
Now, to unknow is not only impossible, no matter how much Seroquel or Geodone or whatever you pump on me, that's a different story because now I know. And now that's from a psychological question of not knowing something so disturbing. It's a double-edged sword. The pain of knowing is horrible, but to go back and not know of something that has been done, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think I could go back. It's like Neo going back in the Matrix. He would say, no, I'm not going to go because this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's wrong. And so they're really different arguments because one's versus never knowing anything.
Oh yeah, and then knowing and
knowing and going back is different than never knowing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But if you could have the choice to like in Men in Black or the flashy thing or whatever.
Oh yeah, they have to jump off the building or whatever.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of good messages based on my life in all those movies too. Yeah, and also they based the character Kay, Why You Always Stare Up at the Stars. Those are actually hints about me going to strip clubs. And when the girl, one of them, it rains because you cry. Those are all things that are actually related to me, believe it or not. Because the writers were sort of taking fragments of my life, or vice versa. It goes both ways. Sometimes, whatever, but a lot of, and I'm not right on all these things, but 80% of the media is people taking things from my life and doing things like that. But
this movie. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Whatever. So I see that in a lot of movies where they do the freaky paranoid schizo to try to make it look like a conformed media, and so they write things, tangents of my life into the scripts, and they go, nobody knows you, just like the clothing mental illness. I pick up on it, and I go, what the fuck's going on?
And then they're crazy.
I was mentioning to Miley Cyrus, where she was quoting lines straight from totally out of
nowhere?
Yeah, in a movie, and it was directed at me or from me.
Yeah.
And seeing it from band to band and movie to movie, and on website sayings like, on my Bill Creek studio, I said something like, let's take, if you want to take a gander, and people would be like on Twitter, oh, let's take a gander, right? Like,
that's not like a word everyone needs to
yeah, and so, and especially in the large numbers,
right.
or reaching out, or, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Is it noon?
12:05. So, yeah, I parked right here on the street. I'm sure I got a ticket too, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to walk that way with me?
Yeah. But, so, anyways, yeah, now that I know what I know, I don't think I'd feel comfortable going back, but
I get that.
being isolated and alone is disturbing.
It's a hard question. That's why I was asking. Like, I don't know what I would do.
They're not really choices though, because you never had a choice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Someone might pitch it as you had a choice, like, and I'm just gonna sum this up. Going to Natalie Call with her blackmail tactics, so if you don't take the meds, you'll destroy your life. It's really thugging, you better do what we say, because we don't want the truth coming out. Yeah, but
even then, when you take the meds and stuff, like they kept.
no, because there's no man for this.
No, I know.
This worldwide murder operation. The problem is that even if you're on meds, or even if you don't know, they're coming after you if they think you do know. Just like how you did in my father's said, we thought you knew. Okay? When I'm sitting at Starbucks writing notes for a business plan, they think that I'm writing about my life and what they did to me, or stalking groups, and they're coming after me when I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's like that mobster. Well, watch him, and if he figures anything out, whack him or do these things. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, you're
right.
Right?
Because these aren't the type of people. Yeah, these aren't humane, rational people. These are people like my father that shot collars on animals. Okay?
Thank you
so let's sum this up. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll cut it off here. Today was a very important, insightful, for historical's sake, history's sake, and now, but for everything. And we are at Puro Sabor Peruvian food. It's pretty good, except almost every time I've been here, mass groups have followed me and stalking me. Today is the first time they haven't. So that's pretty much it. We'll cut it here. And what's today's date? The 12th of August, 2019. Out here, Van Nuys Boulevard, and right here, Delano Street, and Van Nuys Courthouse. And you Seymour has now been on camera talking about letting out a little information, not really wanting to be super honest, but giving us some insight from the corrupt perspective of the judicial system. Okay. Walk through the courthouse and in your mind document the clothing patterns and color patterns. For example, if you see like 20 people wearing black pants and gray shirts.
Yeah.
And I've done videos of this.
Did you do that today?
No, not today. I've done like maybe 10 videos. No. I wanted to sort of stay away to see how they would react.
Right.
Maybe I'll walk down now and see. But
how far is it from here?
It's right there. It's like the next block over, and you hang a left, and there's a police station in the courthouse. Yeah, and so what happens is I come down here, and then groups of people all come out of their houses and walk through the court area, like the outside area, trying to trigger me. Happens every time. Today's the first time I've been to this restaurant. Groups of people didn't come in. Yeah. I think this Queen. Isn't that funny, Queen? Okay,
I know.
Actually, wait. I'm gonna take a. I should be. Wait. I see up the street that there's a little boxing place.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't get a ticket either.
If I did, whatever. $73.
If you did, that'd be.
If I did, then Dinse's gonna run around saying I need to be removed from society because I've gotten too many tickets this year. Too many parking tickets this year.
But if you did and I didn't, and we're parked in the same thing.
Well, you want to check?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, wait, did I? Yeah, there. Well, it's not garbage. It says that it's personal.
That's what I mean.
You never know. Yeah, my mom on the phone. Like, don't go to coffee shops that cops go during the set. I'm like, Mom, if a cop's going into a fucking coffee shop, it's not my responsibility. I'm part of the fucking public here.
Exactly.
Right?
How are you supposed to know anything?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, what, Mom? Am I supposed to be psychic? I'm like, I don't know what coffee shops are going to go to or whatever. You know, that's if they're not mature enough to go to coffee shops, no.
No, thank goodness.
It's like, if they're not mature enough to go to coffee shops without hunting me down trying to kill me, then they're the one with the fucking problem, right?
You shouldn't have to like not go to a coffee shop.
Yeah, she won't. You should hear.
Be there.
I hope I can fix the audio. You should hear my conversation with my mother last night, and it's just
Last night?
yeah, because everyone's anxiety is peaking, and that's really when truths come out.
Yeah.
And she just won't accept. She won't.
Yeah, I would like to hear it.
She triggered me by saying, well, you know, you wanted to go to trial. And I called her back. I said, Mom, you know, you can't say
You want to do this.
I wanted to go to trial and
You
make
wanna
this
walk
like,
with me?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and make this like some kind of Kevin's on some kind of quest
you
or
don't wanna be
something
doing
here.
any of this.
Correct. And it was like, yeah, but you know, there were other options. I mean, what do you mean there was options?
Like what?
Like
The
the
mental
plea
hospital?
bargains. And I said, Mom, I said, you
not an
have to
option,
fucking
really.
plead guilty.
Exactly.
They don't just give you plea bargains to say you're innocent.
No, and then you're marked like that.
You're marked and they're still ratcheting down, and then they say you violated probation, correct?
Right.
Okay, so what is, remember we were talking about the ratcheting, what is their reasoning to begin with?
Right.
Okay, so they have their little, you're passing out too many cards, and then everything gets messy because they won't fucking leave me alone, trying to kill me, and then they fabricate the 422 criminal threats and the battery charges, and then I'm supposed to take a plea bargain?
Yeah, fuck that.
Exactly,
There's
right?
no way you could.
But remember, so this lady, my mother, is supposed to be on my side,
Yeah.
is like, well, you want to do
You
this. Don't
couldn't.
you see a problem with that thought process?
A huge problem.
Like, if someone's
huge.
on your side, they're going to say,
This
you
is
don't fucking
bullshit.
come after my fucking son.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you don't tell them to take the plea bargain, which is implying guilt of something you didn't do.
Yeah, so everything, the message I get is, you're telling them to fucking do it, right?
I'm so sorry.
You can understand the dynamics of abandonment, right?
I know. It makes me like, it like breaks my heart for you.
Yeah, it's just such a fucked up
It's
situation.
horrible.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, thank you so much for coming down,
Of course.
and
I'm glad that, yeah, we able to.
yeah.
I'm glad you didn't have to show up for court today.
And
too.
I have a feeling, but it's more of a vibe, that Seymour got a little irked when he heard that you were here. I didn't tell him. I didn't mention you were coming
He
down.
probably did, huh?
And at 8:30 a.m.,
Yeah.
his tune changed. Do you understand? Like,
I do.
hey Kevin, you know, are you in the area?
Because if
And
I'm here, then he can't pull the same
you know,
shit.
bye and this and that. And I said, yeah, I'm here with Brittany. And that's the first moment
That is
he heard it. And then that's why he called back 10 minutes later, like, I don't know if I have the video.
Oh my god.
And then remember you mentioned something about anxiety in here?
Uh-huh. My client's anxiety.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's your
Well, like,
intuition about that statement? Remember, lawyers don't talk about anxiety.
not in general. No.
Don't you, doesn't it seem without proof that Seymour is intentionally trying to create anxiety?
Yeah.
Right? I don't have the video. I'm not prepared to go to court.
Right. That would make me anxious.
There's like a 70% in my mind that he's full of shit. He's trying to intimidate,
It just
scare
doesn't
me.
make sense.
And let me explain it another way. Seymour's threatening that they can throw me in jail right now.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer, but everything is based on hearsay. And then there's a progress hearing.
Right.
Well, aren't you supposed to be thrown in jail after the? I'm not a progress hearing. This is a progress
Yeah.
hearing. There's a
Probation
probation violation hearing.
Right.
So in my mind, I go to the progress hearing. We think he violated probation. We want a hearing for
Right.
probation. Kevin brings witnesses like Brittany Henderson. Brittany Henderson says, I've seen the video and they're full of shit.
Yeah.
If I'm guilty, found guilty of violating probation, then we throw you in jail.
Correct.
Okay, well, all that's being skipped.
I know.
Or it's not.
Right.
It's just Seymour
Talking.
is trying to intimidate me. Because I want you to be my good little slave.
Right. Yeah.
Think about that.
No, you're
Right? From you might sort of want to query another lawyer just for yourself, your own advocate.
Yeah.
I bet if you talk to an honest lawyer, will say, what? They can't
is
throw him in jail
ridiculous.
before the probation hearing.
No,
they have to throw him in jail
There's no reason
after the
to.
probation hearing.
Exactly. There's no reason.
Yeah.
There's no nothing.
And why would Seymour want me to come down here for a progress hearing when?
And you don't have to be. It doesn't.
Right?
no,
Why
he's
wouldn't
right.
he? Why wouldn't he just go to the progress hearing? Well, we
Let
want to
you
put him in
know.
jail. Call me up. They want you to check. Go drive down to the jail. Whatever.
Right.
You
Exactly.
see
I
all
do.
the things
It's
he's
not
doing?
in order. Seems like. Yeah.
Right?
Jesus. I'll send you that email as soon as I get it from him too, so you
Okay.
can see what he's asking for or whatever.
Did he say he was going to email you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
definitely.
asked him if he had my email or my contact info. He said he had it, so
Okay.
I'll let
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll look at my schedule, but do you want to meet again this week?
let's see.
Later in the week?
Today's Monday.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Thursday,
let's
Friday?
plan for Friday.
Okay.
Um,
If it
oh, you know what? You want to do the pool hall?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
That'd
do
be
a more
fun.
casual, relaxed.
Sweet.
I'm kind of need a little chill out on
That'd be good. Yeah, because I want you to be able to have some type of enjoyment or
Yeah.
like fun.
Yeah. Well, it's good that
Okay.
one person does.
Yeah, I do. It's like, come on, you know?
It's
yeah,
insane.
It's fucked. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
Well, meet at
Yeah.
House of Billiards in Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I just found it interesting. Leaving with Brittany, cop car pulled up right here as I was talking to her and leaving. Now they're obviously going to get food, and we're by a police station and courthouse. Ooh. Okay, also the black and blue here. My guess is that they might walk in. They might walk into the food, the place we ate, and ask them questions about me or something like that. Okay, so we just had parking enforcement drive down. We have a black and blue. I mean, I know the police station is right here, and I know me kind of cruising around going by a police station where there should be 100 police cars, that these police cars could probably waiting for me to leave. But in my life, that's not so off, even if I'm by a police station. Okay, so, and I've seen this pattern of their behavior before at public places like coffee shops. I'll go to a coffee shop, leave, then the cops will show up, and it looks like the cops will go in, and something like that. And they'll probably ask questions, you know, what did he say, what did he do? Now let's see if we can figure out where they went. I don't see them around here. There's another police car, but we're by a police station, so there's gonna be tons of police cars. Police station and courthouse, you're gonna see tons of police cars, so I can't put any type of definite on whether the police car. Oh, also we're gonna drive up the boulevard. We're gonna look for umbrellas and stripes and pinks. Girl in the food cart, pink. Okay, green light. Okay, first let's try to figure out where the cops went. Did they go into the Peruvian place right here? Where is it? I can't even see it through the glass. I want to try to figure out where they went. It is lunchtime. And I know this is a little paranoid, but that's my life. Is another pink here. 12:26, so it's lunchtime. So, you know, they could have pulled up and said we're eating. They could have pulled up, said we're eating. We're eating by Kevin. I can't tell you, right? But I just know how they behave when I'm trying to live my life and the things they're doing. And so to me it seems a little strange, because really they could have walked over, but you know, that doesn't mean anything. So it was interesting, the parking enforcement drove by afterwards, but I mean, where did they go? I wasn't really watching because I didn't want to make myself obvious, and I had to change camera batteries. It's probably on my car DVR, now that I think about it. I'm going to be too lazy with the amount of shit I have to look at it. This looks like it might be a second black and blue. 14532 I'm going to get that plate again. I'm going to circle around and get the plate. Okay, 2 pickups here. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to get the plate, too. Because of the car on Western. Let's see, I still don't know where they went. The police car left on Western in Hollywood for me had 22 ending in the plates. Okay, where is the fucking... There it is. Let's see. Are they eating Peruvian? I can't see through the glass. It's too reflective. Okay, I'm processing too much data here while trying to drive. Okay, so I was out in Hollywood Saturday. One of the people working with the cops and their plate ending in 22 across from a Starbucks on Western Street. Mad about my Western cowboy hat and possibly erotic ranch. And down meeting with Brittany at Wildflower Cafe. One of our videos is people showing up with plates ending in 22, and down in the time before, the meeting before, people were showing up with plates ending in 77, and Brittany's office is at 3717 Thousand Oaks Boulevard. So as we come by the police car here, who just happens to be showing up as we're leaving with a parking enforcement that didn't give me or her tickets or anyone else, I want to document 1453977 ending in 77s. Now I don't know where the fuck they went, and where did the cops go at lunch hour right here. I can't tell you. There's not many places down this block. I can't imagine parking a street cop car here to get food. They're obviously not in Queens Burgers. If I put my guess, my instinct, they intentionally wanted me to see those plates and pull up in front of me as I was leaving to try to scare or trigger me, especially with Okay, so we'll go back the other way by the other 7-Eleven. Oh wait, let's redo this 7-Eleven, and then we'll go back the other way towards the other 7-Eleven. How about that? Shit, where can I hang out? Where can I hang out? Turn this easy. There we go. Okay, so this is a different 7-Eleven. And just, I don't know. There's a cop car right there. Remember that, okay, one's actually like a security or something. I don't know, some cheese dick security siren or something. There's a cop car that just drove by this way. 2 guys with hazards on. Then we're going to drive by the other 7-Eleven. tunnel behind the cop here. As we hang a left. Hollywood Boulevard. Okay, car waiting there. And then cruise by. The Pier 1 and the 7-Eleven. Now remember, in the Pier 1 there have been, I think, 2 separate red cars waiting, pointing towards the street. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We're about to drive by where the cop pulled someone over, where the guy's blinkers were on, and the 7-Eleven and the group showing up there. Okay, here's the cop. There's always a cop car parked, nobody in it. Over here by Western. There's a Starbucks here. And they're trying to sort of work with all Starbucks, trying to set me up on something. And I thought, okay, I think the Pier 1's coming up. Over here. Here's the freeway. Let's see, where we go. Okay, now I've had things like skaters wait for me and pull out, waiting for me to do what I'm gonna do now, in hopes they could try to like get me to hit them or something. Over here, so this is the Pier 1. Okay, so now look, this guy has his blinkers on over here. Okay, so now, why would this guy have his blinkers on, right? Okay, so this is where the original guy was, and the cop just now pulled someone over, guy waiting for his blinkers. And then this guy over here, there's absolutely no reason. Okay, this is where the 3 cars, they keep changing cars backwards, which is blatantly obvious. Now this guy is a security guy, is that what it is? Okay, so he looks like he has a security uniform on. And I want to double check, go back the other way, because you can see, right, the 2 cars waiting there with blinkers. That guy, security guy, the car wasn't security marked, but I could see like a security uniform on him. And there was a security car down at this 7-Eleven. So first of all, 7-Elevens like that don't have security. They don't have security companies, right? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so what you're seeing is like rogue security. Not rogue, they're contacted by the cops to follow me around and stalk me worldwide. Okay, once again, we're coming back the other way. We're by the 7-Eleven. We'll just document the 7-Eleven, and then most importantly, I want to get the plates off Western. Oh, okay, the 7-Eleven, hold on. Okay. Nobody is at the 7-Eleven right now. Nobody's at the Pier 1, at least backwards or with ending messages. Now we're gonna go up to Western here, and I realized that I already have his plates on DVR actually, probably like 100 times from different times being out here. I forgot all about that, but let's just get it on this camera. The cop car is still there. Okay. Now, most importantly, is across from the Starbucks. I didn't even make that connection. And Starbucks and the police with Dinse are trying to use that against me. We saw police come out, but I don't know where they actually are because the car's there like every night, all night, whatever. Okay, like usual, I stopped recording on accident. Okay, so I just want to get, well, let's get the plates to this guy. He's already, but the other dudes that walked out looked like, okay, a Jeep and a Jeep Cherokee right there. We'll do a little loop around. I didn't want to hold up the camera and look obvious, but they are on DVR with the plates if I ever need them, so, you know, I wasn't thinking straight about that one. Now, what was I saying when I thought I was recording? I was saying the cop car's always there, but I've never actually seen cops, except for an hour ago, or not even that. But I'm not even sure now if there are cops because the security guy was standing out there picking his ass, standing by the cop car. 2 red cars there together, which may or may not be something, but the 2 Jeeps, that's obvious, being that they're by the police car. I mean, okay, so let's see, this is the street before Western. Now, is this the gas station? No. El Pollo Loco. Serrano. Okay, we're going up Serrano. Going up Serrano. Gonna make it. Okay, so let's go slow because we'll make our final pass and then go home, I guess. We'll go up Sunset home. It's 2:40 a.m. Usually, okay, 2 reds together here. Now, the reason I'm pointing these things out are it's not just by my house. They're told to do it directed to me worldwide. And then the street over, I think, is Western, the main street with the light. Okay, so we're coming this way, and I am on autofocus. Okay, a red Jeep Cherokee and a black Jeep Ranger together. Cop cars here every single time, every single weekend I'm out here. It's always in the same area. Let's see if I can get the plate, read it off by the security guard. This is the Starbucks, and the Starbucks in Woodland Hills somehow is working with this Starbucks. What is the plate? I can't read the plate. I cannot read the plate. The security guy is gone. Let's just hang a left here and we'll loop around. You know, like, why was the security guard waiting and sort of coming out by the police car, right? My eyes get a little older now. My eyes are shitty. This is where I accidentally sort of, oh shit, there's a person crossing the street, and they try to play this game like I'm trying to ram and kill people, right? That's the point of the situation. What is this place? U.S. Bank, though. I already said that earlier. Okay. So now I just want to get the plate information, because it's linked all the way back to Woodland Hills. Okay. This is Western. There's a security guard on the left here. He must have crossed the street. Over here. Walking down this way. Okay, this is the Starbucks, Western. This is US Bank. The plate is, Jesus, I547522. 154722. 154722 is the plate of this cop car working with the Starbucks Corporation. It is 1:15 a.m. They have a thing with 22s, and fabricating things with Terrence Scroggins about 422 criminal threats to arrest me, things like that. Okay, so now we can go back, which I'm sure he's been on my DVR for a long time. Okay, now we can head back the other way, and that's pretty much it.